Hey you guys, it's Peter, and welcome to my channel, Peter and PP Like Books. And today we are going to talk about, boys and girls, today we're going to talk about my favorite books that I read in 2016. If you watch my channel, you know, Seesaw, that the other day I did like my shit books that I read in 2016, like all of the books that I hated. Did I say 2017? I meant 2016. All of the shit books that I read in 2016. And today I'm going to talk about the best books that I read in 2016. And it's really interesting because I only had 9 really bad books that I didn't, not bad, but books that I didn't like. But I have 12 really great books that I read, or books that profoundly impacted me in some way. And when I was going through the list, it was interesting because like not every book like resonated with my soul, but like they were just really good reads that I couldn't put down and that I absolutely loved. And so it's interesting what books ended up where, and I'll explain to you what I do. So I just went through my Goodreads list, and any book that like really was like one of my favorites that I can't forget, I just wrote down, okay? If it was a book that like I read very, very quickly, or I just like literally was enthralled with, I wrote it down. And then once I had the 12 down, I just went through and I was like, okay, which one was my favorite? Which one was my next favorite? And that's how I came up with this list. I will link underneath this video, or I won't link, but I will write down all of the books so that if you guys are interested in getting any of these books, you can find them. They will be listed in no certain order below. Or actually, maybe I will list them in order below. So anyway, we'll see. It'll be a secret. Well, I guess it's not much of a secret if you go down there and look, right? Reigning in at number 12 is Jandy Nelson's The Sky is Everywhere. And it's really interesting that this book ended up at number 12. I actually, while reading it or going into it, would have thought, based on my love of I'll Give You the Sun, that it would have ended up at like 3 or 4. But I have to be honest with you, like, whereas I loved I'll Give You the Sun, The Sky is Everywhere did not like leave that much of an imprint on me. I really, really liked the book. I thought it was well done. And what was really interesting is I read that and Julie Murphy's Side Effects May Vary back to back, and they're very similar. And it's interesting because I'm a diehard Julie Murphy fan, if you know, from the book Dumplin'. I think that was my favorite book of 2015. But her book didn't make it on my list. So The Sky is Everywhere by Jandy Nelson did. I liked it a little bit better. Very similar kind of storylines. Number 11... And I read this for Booktubeathon this summer, and I remember reading it because I always had wanted to read this, and I didn't really think that I would love it. And if you watched my videos during Booktubeathon, what you'll know is, like, I totally fell in love with this book. And that is Jaws, by Peter Benchley. The book came out before the movie. It was a bestseller when it came out. Everybody loved it. It's terrifying to read, okay? Like, it is 10 times scarier than the movie. It goes into more graphic detail. There's a romance that you have no clue about watching the movie, but it has the people that are in the movie in the romance. It is good. It is a good book. So I actually think if you're going to read Jaws, though, you should read it in the summer. I read it in the summer. I went swimming at night, and it just was creepy. I loved it so much. It was such a great book. And especially if you're going to go, like, on spring break somewhere, take it. Like, take Jaws on spring break. It is such a great spring break book. Okay, number 10. This was really interesting. I don't even know how I found this book. I think it was a daily deal on Audible, and it is Before He Finds Her by Michael Curtis. And if you look at the cover of this book, the book looks sketchy as hell. Like, it looks like some cheap thriller that you would buy for 99 cents at a garage sale, which sometimes for me are like the best garage sale finds ever. Do you guys ever do that? Do you ever find a book like that you think is going to be total crap, and then like later it turns into like the best book ever? And when I was in high school, my friends and I, one of us found this book at a thrift store, and it was called Groupie. And it was about this girl that was like a groupie of these bands. And we ended up falling in love with this. Not the one by Pamela DeBar, not that one, okay? But we read that one too. But anyway, it was a fictional book. And and this book called Amethyst. And we passed these books around. And Savages by Shirley Conrad that wrote Lace. Did you guys ever read Shirley Conrad's novels? If you guys like mystery and suspense like Jackie Collins, go read Shirley Conrad's books. I mean, they are so good, and I think she's deceased now. Sorry, Shirley. But anyway, and don't call me Shirley. I've gotten way off track, haven't I? But anyway, that's kind of how I found this book. Like, I was at like a half-price books clearance section, and I No, like I said, it was a daily deal on Audible. Like I was almost gonna sit on here and be like, make up something. I just couldn't remember where I got it. So anyway, it was a daily deal on Audible, and I listened to it on Audible. And I remember I listened to it. I should look and see what I listened to it right after, because I listened to it right after something that I literally could not get through. This will be really interesting to see what it was that I literally could not get through, and I remember reading it, and I never heard of this book. It's a mystery that takes place about this girl, and she comes home. It's one of those. You know I love those. So anyway, and I read it, and I was just like, this book is fantastic. Like, I read it literally. I was just looking at my review when I was writing it down, and it says on here, like, I read this book in 3 days. Yeah, read this in less than 3 days. Incredible mystery. Okay, I had just read, are you ready? This will be interesting to see what crap book I read before that I thought, true story. Look, The Woman in Cabin 10. You know I hate that book, right? The Woman in Cabin 10 I gave 2 stars to, and Before He Finds Her by Michael Curtis I gave 5 stars to. It was an incredible mystery. I loved it. Loved it so much. It's so good. Okay, so number 9 is a book called A Better Place by Mark Roeder. It's really interesting how I found this book. So you guys know that I love LGBT fiction, especially LGBT young adult books. And my publisher had reached out to me, and she was like, there's this guy that lives in Indiana. His name is Mark Roeder. I don't know if you've ever heard of him, but he writes these books called Bloomington Boys series, which Bloomington's where Indiana University is. I looked him up online. This dude has written like literally like 80 books, okay? And they're all like gay themed. But the covers are very much like bad porn from the 70s. It's just, they're cheesy, okay? So I got online and I Googled like which one was his best book, and it came up with this book called A Better Place. And I remember like when I looked it up, I listened to it on Audible. When I looked it up on Audible, it like came up with a totally different cover. Like the cover was like these 2 guys, and it was in black and white. It was very nicely done. And I listened to the book. I was so taken with this book. I mean, this book is like, it's not perverse. It's not what you would think by the other covers. It is a beautiful, beautiful love story, and tragic. Totally tragic. And like, I fell in love with this guy. I can't believe I haven't read anything else by him, because I was like, after I read that book, I was like, I'm gonna go read a bunch of his stuff now. So if you're looking for some new LGBT young adult fiction, A Better Place by Mark Roeder, it was so good. It was kind of a lengthy read too. It's a road trip story, so I love road trip stories. Number 8, The Dinner by Herman Koch. Okay, you guys, this book got bashed all over BookTube, and I remember I went and I got it from the library. I don't think I read this for BookTubeathon, but I read it around that same time. Do you guys, if you watched my reviews when I was talking about this book, like, I fell in love with this book. Like, this book is so well done as far as literary fiction. It's a mystery, but not really. And it's about these 2 couples that go out to dinner, and the whole thing, it's very much like My Dinner with Andre, the movie. And the whole thing takes place over this dinner, over different courses. I mean, fantastic. Fantastic book. He has a new one out, by the way. Okay, let's see. Number 7, Raining In at number 7. Where's my number 7? Oh, The Girls by Emma Cline. This book, it's interesting because this book got like so much attention this year, and like, I felt like everywhere I went, I saw it. And I originally saw it at Costco, and I was like, I really want to get this book. And then it was one of my Book of the Month Club choices, and so I got it and I read it, and it was fantastic. And it's interesting because at the same time, I had started reading Helter Skelter, the Charles Manson murders, which I'm still not done with Helter Skelter. I mean, it's like that big. And so The Girls is about, it's not about Charles Manson, but it's about Charles Manson. Do you get the gig? So anyway, trust me, it's just a good book, and the cover is gorgeous. I love the cover so much. Anyway, it's really spooky. It's really well done. It flashes back and forth between today and then, and it's just, it's really well done. Okay, and I talked to the author. I emailed her, and she emailed me right back, and she was super nice. And I was like, your book just was like so well written. I was so impressed with it. I love when authors are approachable like that. I hate when authors are like, who are you? John Green. That's what I'm talking about. Anyway, number 6. You guys, this became one of my all-time new favorite authors of 2016, and that is Paula Trek-DeBoard, and it's The Morning Hours, spelled M-O-U-R-N-I-N-G, like bean and morning. And it's about this girl that goes home after some period of time, and like this murder disappearance that happened when she was in high school. She was like 12 when it happened. Fantastic, beautifully written. Paula Trek-DeBoer is one of I talked about this book in like almost every video that I did at that time. She's one of the most fantastic writers of our time. I mean, it was beautifully written. I have her other two. Did you hear that tongue snap like Alyssa Edwards? I can't do it now. If I try, I can't do it. Anyway, beast! Okay, so anyway, I totally fell in love with her. I have her other two books, and I haven't read them yet. And I gave them to my friend Tanya, and Tanya was like, oh my God, I gave one of them to Tanya, and Tanya got the other one, and she was like, I loved these books. They're so good. Okay, number 5. This book, actually, if we were talking all just young adult, would probably be my number 1. And it was We Are the Ants by Sean David Hutchinson. Oh my God, this fucking book, dude. Like, this book changed me. I mean, this book changed me. First of all, I adamantly believe in aliens, okay? Second of all, I love tragedy. Third, I said I love LGBTYA, okay? It was so finely done. I mean, he is such an author to be reckoned with. Such an author to be reckoned with. I mean, and he has another book coming out this year, and I cannot wait, and I haven't read his other books, and I need to get on it. But I got about 1,000 before him. So anyway, if you haven't read We Are the Ants, it was like, you know when you go to the Oscars, and it's like the one that comes out of the running, and everybody's like, what is that, the independent one? Like, that was We Are the Ants. It was fantastic. Number 4... Dark Matter by Blake Crouch. I'm not a big science fiction lover, you guys. I'm just not. And this book and what it talks about with physics and things like that was so over my head, but so done in a layman's way that like the story was like phenomenal, okay? And this was also a Book of the Month Club choice for me. And I just was really like, that month I almost didn't pick a book because there was nothing else that I wanted, and I ended up getting it, and I just was floored. Like, I could not put this book down. So, and he was the one that wrote Wayward Pines. I just was really, really impressed with that. Let's see, number 3. Excuse me. I think like 6 months through the year, I did some video where I talked about my favorites of the year or whatever. And Girl in the Red Coat by Kate Hammer. I read this right after I read, well, actually, like 2 books after I read The Girl in the Train, and it just was like incredible. And I remember I got it because whatever bookstore I was at, I think it was Target, said, like, if you liked Girl in the Train, you'll love Girl in the Red Coat. And they were nothing alike. Like, the only thing that they were alike is that, like, they originated in England. But other than that, they were nothing alike. Girl in the Red Coat was, I mean, I love when a good story is told and it's well written as well. Like, well written as well. I mean, it was phenomenon. It was phenomenon. It was a phenomenon. It was beast. It was phenomenal. I just could not get enough of it. I loved it. And the ending, I mean, I did not know what was going to happen right up to the very last paragraph. It was incredible. I loved it. I love books like that. Okay, let's see. Number 2. Where's my number 2? What could it be? Sleeping Giants by Sylvain Neuvel. Now, if I love a good story, I like it well written. I also love when the author is real sexy, and he is. Okay, and I actually tweeted him, and he has another book coming out. I think it's the sequel to this, actually, coming out in March or April. I'm so excited. You guys listen. I listened to this on Audible. I also got it as my Book of the Month Club choice. This book wore me the fuck out. It wore me out. So many people that I told to read this were like, I hated that book. I didn't get it. It was horrible. I'm like, what? It's about this girl that finds this hand underneath the ground because she falls into the ground. And then years later, she's like some kind of anthropologist at the University of Chicago, and they start finding these things all over the earth. What? Like, it is so incredible. You guys, like, oh my God. I felt like when I was reading this, I was watching a movie. Like, I hope to God they make this into a movie. It was incredible. Sleeping Giants by Sylvain Neuvel. I mean, I know so many people didn't like it, but like, it changed me. It changed PP too. And number 1 is so funny. I was so do you guys ever have a book that everybody recommends to you, but you're so resistant to reading it, and you don't really know why, except for that everybody says, read this book, read this book, read this book, and then you're like, okay, I read it, it's not that great. Well, Somebody bought this book for me on Audible. I didn't even know that you could buy gifts for people and send it to them on Audible, but somebody did, so whoever you are, thank you. I can't remember who it is. Ready Player One by Ernest Cline. Have you all read this book? I mean, I don't even know how your mind thinks that way. I mean, that book blew my fucking socks off. Like, I was so engaged in a story, and I was so, like, little bitty things that were woven through it. I was so, like, and it is so perfectly written for somebody my age, because it is literally my childhood. Like how everybody is reading or watching Stranger Things on Netflix and they love it. Like, this was the book of my childhood. I mean, it had video games and food, and I mean, oh my God, you guys. I was worn out with Ready Player One by Ernest Cline. And I have his second one, or his first one, Armada, and I haven't read it yet because everybody tells me it's crap, but I don't know, maybe I'll like it. But you know this is coming out as a movie, and Steven Spielberg is doing it. I cannot wait to see it. You guys, Ready Player One, hands down, best book I read of 2016. Hands down, hands down. I mean, it was like 2-1. I mean, it was so good. I loved it so much. Fuck the haters. Ready Player One wore me out. It wore me out. So anyway, I'm super excited to see what books I love in 2017. I really would like to put together a readathon this year. So if there are some booktubers out there that are interested in doing that with me, hint, hint, please let me know. Follow me on all my social media. It's listed below. I love you guys so much. And Apple face. And I'll talk to you later. Bye.